Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Employee Baltimore Show. I'm your host, Marvin McKinstry of the famed and acclaimed Employer Services Division of the Mayor's Office of Employment Development. And y'all know we come to you every Thursday with information up to the minute, right now type information on what's happening in employment in and around the Baltimore area, because we got to make sure that everybody that wants to get plugged in gets the plug. And we got a great show for you today. I've got a shout out before we go into that. My producer, Miss Katanya Lester, who sits behind the scenes and makes everything happen. And all I have to do is show up and talk. Y'all know what time it is. It's time to like, love, share, and comment this broadcast. I'm going to do it with you while you doing it, because we need as many people here, especially today, because the two segments that we have today are designed and will help a lot of people. So what you want to do is you want to go to your device, go to the Baltimore City Mayor's Office of Employment Development page, go to the actual streaming live video that's happening right now. And once you get through all of that, all you want to do is share it to your page. I always share mine as jobs, 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 because people know that when you come on this broadcast weekly, you're going to hear about great opportunities. And it's never one-sided, just like our show today. We don't only bring you information about the job, but the resources to make it all come together for you. So tag people in the comments even. Okay, we streaming live on all social media platforms. Tag people in the comments, let them get that notification that we are live so that they can be here with us today. My lighting is doing something a little crazy, so I don't know what's happening, but we're gonna still make sure this information get out there anyway. All right. So before we do anything else, we got some news updates that we're going to talk to you guys about, and we're going to kick it off with my beloved birds. That's right, the Orioles of Baltimore. We've been having a little bit of a struggle. Our pitching, y'all, listen, the Major League Baseball is all about the pitching. It's all about who's on the mound, and our closer blew another save last night. We in the Beltway battle with the boys from D.C., the Washington Nationals. That is still their name, because they be changing names on teams down there in DC. That was a little pun definitely intended, right? But last night he blew the save, but thanks to a late home run, I believe by Ryan Mountcastle, we were able to pull it out. So y'all, look, it's exciting times in Baltimore. If you're a baseball fan, if you not want to sit at home and watch it on TV, make sure you go down to the stadium. We have a Class A operation happening down there, and the food is incredible. I always catch a few games every year, so make sure you go down and listen. It's starting to come together. The rookies have been in mini camp for the Baltimore Ravens, and look, it don't look like we wasted not one draft pick, y'all. I've been on YouTube checking out the highlights. We got some young Lions, man. This team is definitely improving and will be ready for the 2024 kickoff in around September sometime, y'all. So listen, even though it's summertime and the boys of summer doing their thing, make sure you stay plugged in for up-to-the-minute information on the boys of winter, because this year when they come, we going all the way to the Super Bowl. No more shortcomings or disappointments in the playoffs. It's time to go get the ring. All right, all right, all right. Election day, y'all, listen. It is imperative that we vote. It's imperative. And we got some hot local races. I believe personally that all politics is local, but we got a national election. All right. Get out and vote, y'all. Do not waste the opportunity that our ancestors fought so hard for us to have. 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday, May the 4th. The polls will be open. Early voting is happening already, right? So find out where early voting is happening. I believe it's 9 locations around the city, and get yourself up there if you want to go ahead and knock it out. Get it out the way early. Early voting is a real thing here in Baltimore, and these races are heating up. So make sure, again, on Tuesday, May 14th, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. So if your work schedule, you can work around your work schedule. You do what you got to do to make sure that your voice is heard. So show up at the polls, and let's make sure that we are voting. Elections.maryland.gov is how you find out more information online. All right. Our now hiring job board, moed.baltimorecity.gov/job board. moed.baltimorecity.gov/job board is how you plug into up-to-the-minute information surrounding jobs. Each and every job that you found on that website is going to be more accurate than any other website you can go to, because it's attached to one of our incredible BSRs who have taken the time to make sure that it's updated, that there's nothing on there that you're going to wind up finding, oh, that position already been filled. So if you want to get the most accurate and current information on jobs, you want to go to MOED, www.moed.baltimorecity.gov/job board. That's again, www.moed.baltimorecity.gov/job board. All right, y'all, there's a career fair happening all the time. Let's be clear. There's a career fair, hiring event, something happening all the time. And I guess I would say 95% of the time, it's because of the efforts and the work of the Mayor's Office of Employment Development. This one is going to be happening on Monday, May the 13th at one of our, what's known as the Community Job Hub. The Community Job Hubs is partnerships that we have with other local organizations, and these have been planted in neighborhoods who may not be able to make it to our larger centers. So this one is going to be Monday, May 13th at my brother's keeper. That's up my way, 4207 Frederick Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland. If you ever heard of the Yale Heights community, that's where it's going to be, up in the Yale Heights community, a block away from Mount St. Joe. Y'all, listen, this is a great area, a great time, great people going to be in the attendance. Tailored staff and housekeepers at $16 an hour, floor techs at $17, and Catholic Charities is going to be bringing the full load. So make sure you come out on Monday, May 13th, 4207 Frederick Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21229, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Don't let that range in time fool you. Get there early so you can be at the top of the list. All right, y'all. Y'all heard me talk about it last week. The Rye Street Job Fair happening on May 14th. It's going to be the same day, yes, as Election Day. So go rock the vote, let your voice be heard, and then go get your bag. Tuesday, May 14th from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. It's going to be at 301 Mission Boulevard, Baltimore, Maryland, 21230. That is down on the Baltimore Peninsula. And listen, y'all, the GPSs are updated so they actually get you there. Y'all know about a year ago, we be trying to get down to an area like that and going in circles, but it is doing what it needs to do. This is going to be hospitality at its highest and at its finest. They're looking for hosts, front waiters, back waiters, bartenders, bussers, line cooks, prep cooks, dishwashers, restaurant managers, and sous chefs. Y'all, you got to get down there. This is the way you want to do every hiring event that you see us talk about. Go and fill out the application before you get there. Apply at ClydesJobs.com. Apply online at ClydesJobs.com. When you do that, you give yourself a little bit of an advantage because you can go in, and in most of our events, we can look up your application, find it, and you can move past the basic aspect of putting in the application on the site. So whenever you see us talking about a hiring event, a job fair, go fill out the application and show up a few steps ahead of everybody else, all right? But if everybody do it, we all on the same page, and it's all good. There is parking on the street or in the garage, so don't worry about the parking, but make sure you get down there to get your money, man. All right, y'all, today's show features information. We are ready for cohort number 3 of the Chase Bank hiring that we've been doing. We're going to be looking for 2 supervisors, and we're going to be looking for a whole bunch of customer service. That word people been loving to hear: work from home, telework. This is one of them. So get all your friends on, tag everybody. And to make sure that you are properly prepared, we have one of my favorite organizations and one of my favorite people who's been doing great work, man. It's nothing like having an opportunity and not being prepared. They have committed themselves to making sure that when you get your opportunity, you are prepared. We're talking about the one and only Sharp Dressed Man. Y'all, it's time to get to the show. I'm trying to do something with this lighting because it's bothering me. All right, that ain't helping either. All right, let's see if we can make it do something a little better. All right, so now we're going to bring him on. I'm excited that he's here with us today so that we can talk about all of the great things that's happening. Listen, y'all, I'm gonna need him to open up and tell y'all, because it's been a lot of years of me being in workforce development, that knowing the sharp dressed man and showing up in the right places. Y'all, I am excited to introduce to y'all, if you do not already know him, Mr. Christopher Schaefer of Sharp Dressed Man. Are you able to hear us loud and clear?
Yeah, thanks for the warm applause. That was great.
Well, listen, man, you definitely deserve it. We have had a few organizations around town that have been instrumental down through my years, and it's been a lot of years for me of seeing to it that people have the what they need in order to get into the hiring, the job market, and be successful. But you came and you guys definitely stepped it up a notch since you've been around. Tell us a little bit about yourself and about Sharp Dressed Man.
So yeah, my name is Christopher Schaefer, and I'm the founder of Sharp Dressed Man, which is an organization where we recycle business attire for men to dress them for job interviews and beyond.
Okay, so can you give us a little bit of insight to the vision?
Sure.
How did this thing? How long has it actually been around?
So it's been around since about it's been a good 12 years, I guess now. It started off where so I make custom suits for a living, is what I do, and I was delivering suits to a client of mine, and he had a couple trash bags full of clothes that he told me that I had to find a new home for. And they were nice suits that he had. He said, "You spoiled me with the way you make my suits fit." And so I took the bags of clothes, tried to find a home for them, and realized there wasn't really anybody out there that was just focusing on the menswear part of it. It was kind of like a afterthought in a lot of ways. And from those two bags of clothes, we have suited up over 12,000 men for free.
Wow, man, that's awesome. And I know even on the other side of my life as a pastor, men's clothes is normally the tougher thing to come by when you're trying to help and be a blessing. So 12,000 men, 12 years going. This
Yeah.
is an awesome thing. I know that you guys have done some things around prom season, and tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, prom season is now basically, is kind of what's going on. And with us, we've been averaging helping about 2,000 men a year is where we've kind of been. We just hit that number again. COVID was kind of a tough time, but prior to COVID, we were doing that as well. We get reached out to a lot of times at prom. The problem that we usually end up having though is that it's like we usually get clothes that are for full grown men. So sometimes when you're dealing with younger folks, and we don't get as much of the smaller size clothing, but we have helped out quite a few people for prom this year, which was great. So, but yeah, the clothes are given to us, and then we give them away for free to people who need them. Is kind of the long and short of it. And it's pretty powerful to see what the clothes can do for somebody to help them to see themselves in a different way.
One of my pet peeves about when you're trying to help people out is, for one, you don't give them anything that you yourself wouldn't want.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
never been a thing. There's a standard at Sharp Dressed Man. But one of the other things is the experience. As I've brought some of my young men more in my days working at Youth Opportunity, they could go to some of the finer garment houses and apparel shops in the world, and the experience is made to mirror what you would get if you were going into some of those tailored spaces. Talk to us about why it's important to you that we just not this is not just another clothes closet or thrift store, but there be an experience for the people that are coming through to get this blessing.
Thank you for recognizing that. I try to take the experience of what it feels like when people come to my shop, and the one-on-one experience of curating a look for them of something that they would want to wear. And that's the idea for me, is that I want people to feel that they feel cool when they wear the clothes, that they like the way they look, and that they're excited about it, and they're seeing their future in front of them. And look, the way we like to do stuff is when they come to our place is that we grab some measurements off of them, and then a lot of guys don't know what their chest size is or their collar size, and you're able to educate someone on those things, as well as helping them to put together a look that gives them the confidence to go out there into the world. That's kind of how we do what we do. But I think that it matters. It's like it's there's a part of it where you're kind of like just giving the person the undivided attention, which I think is sort of you kind of maybe take that for granted a little bit. You know what I mean? And that and look, it's a fun process to go through someone come in street clothes and then put an outfit on them. And a lot of times we're dealing with groups that are bringing in guys who are all going through a program together. So they have this bond amongst them, and they all know and trust each other, and they all come in. They're coming into this environment that maybe is a bit something that they're not really comfortable in. They're going from street clothes to dressing all up. But once they start seeing each other and they're like, oh, check him out and check him out. And then the whole vibe starts going. And I'm usually, the other thing over there is, it's like I usually like to have good music playing and stuff like that. It's a whole environment where you come in and you're just, and you're going into a menswear place and you're shopping, but there's no price to it. It's kind of priceless, actually, the irony of it. But I love it. And it's a really fun environment over there. When the whole thing is, when it's all clicking and people are coming in and they're working off each other and people are going and like pulling stuff and putting it on other people and try this on and try that on. And, it's a fun environment. I really do love it when it's firing on all cylinders. It's great.
One of the things that we have realized and recognized is that we can't sit home and wait for everybody to come to us. And one of the evolutions of the great services you provide is the mobile service. Can you talk to us a little bit about the mobile services that you offer?
Sure. Well, look, COVID kind of changed everything, right? It definitely changed the way people dress and where they work, and are they doing, are they doing interviews online and all kinds of stuff. Well, with us, this all started several years ago, where we would do a holiday suit giveaway, right? And we decided we have a friend of ours that's up in Philadelphia, and he set it up for us to go up to Philadelphia. And we rented a U-Haul truck, loaded up with clothes, went up to Philly and helped out a bunch of people in Philly. And a friend of mine who came along with us, like half jokingly, made this cardboard sign that said "Sharp Dress Van" on it, and he duct taped it to the back of the U-Haul, and so was born the idea of Sharp Dress Man's Sharp Dress Van. And we realized, like, this is a great way to get out of Baltimore to help other people that are in the surrounding areas. And so I guess about 2 years ago or so, we won some grants through United Way, so we could go and get to be able to purchase the van, fix up the van. It's a proper, like UPS size, vehicle that we put racks all in the back, and we load it up with clothes. And when we take it out, we can help about 250 people
Wow.
at a time. And so it's really powerful to see. And so when we do that, that's a little bit of a different experience in the people that are the one-on-one coming in, because that we have to kind of do is a little bit more, we're helping a lot of people at one time. So that's a little bit of a different experience, but it's like helps a lot of people. It's really cool to see. And it's pretty cool. So it's, basically a clothing store on wheels.
That is awesome. How do you people who want to support your efforts, or how do you get the donations and the things that you're able to bless people with? Tell us a little bit of the back of the house kind of stuff.
Sure. So the back of the house kind of stuff is that thank God we have some really great volunteers, right? We have people that come through and help us out, whether it's sorting the clothes, sizing the clothes, dressing the guys, cleaning the place, all kinds of stuff. We just have a really good crew of people who come together that help out to make it work. And right now we are a 100% volunteer-based organization. And so everybody's there because they want to be there and they want to help out, which is pretty amazing. we're in the process of doing some fundraising. We want to hire an executive director, and but that's going to take us a little bit to do all that. So what we figured out is that since our executive director left last year, is that I kind of had to change a couple things about how we were doing what we're doing to make us be as streamlined as possible. And so what we do is that we're open on Wednesdays at noon is when we give away the suits at our place that's down at the peninsula. We're down at 250 West Dickman Street is where all the clothes are housed and everything like that. And so also I got to say at that point, thank you so much to Mag Partners, who's running everything down there, because they take really good care of us with giving us the space where we house the clothing. And so that takes the pressure off of having to pay rent, which is enormous to us.
Awesome.
So that's a big deal. So basically though, is it when what I realize is that on Wednesday at noon has been a standing date for us for 10 years, right? It's like it works with everyone's schedule. People show up and they know that it's like if they show up on a Wednesday at noon, they're going to get suited up and we're going to take care of them with what we have. The van goes out when we set up special events or whatever, where we know there's going to be a lot of people and they could use the clothes. We load up the van, bring it out, and the idea is take the van out full and bring it back empty. That's the idea.
That's the idea.
That's the idea. And so we keep the clothes moving. We were a big thing that has changed recently, which has been awesome, is that since we don't have the manpower to staff the shop on a regular basis, is that the folks at Mag Partners gave us, they had a 10 by 12 shed that was sitting out back, and they brought it around front and let us have it. And I fixed it all up and everything and put solar lights in there and everything. And so that then was the birth of the Sharp Dress Shed, which is where you can drop off clothes 24/7. There's racks in there, there's shelves in there, and you can drop off the clothes, and there's tax receipts, and that's at 250 West Dickman Street as well. And that just makes it more efficient. And so, and it's a safe location. There's security that patrols the area and everything. And so that makes it that, you know, if people want to drop off the clothes in person, they bring them Wednesday at noon, and every Wednesday at noon is a different experience. But if people want to drop them off whenever they want, then the shed is there for people to put them in, and that has helped the back of the house a lot. But the magic all kind of happens on a Wednesday at noon is really when everything kind of really
you got me excited about a Wednesday to come down and volunteer and help out. And I don't know, Katanya, I think we need to take our show on the road, maybe broadcast one Wednesday from down
100%.
there, get some video or something. I just really appreciate, you know, from the workforce development lens and being in a space where we get to change lives literally, because economics can change lives. Social economic status can change lives. And
Yep.
I'm excited about what you guys have done. Do you have anything coming up that you want to put out to the community to make sure that people are able to be in place or support or anything like that?
And no, right now we're kind of, so it's like for us, and with taking out the van in particular, is that you know, it's like the heat ain't real good in there, nor is the AC. So it's a spring and a winter, it's a spring and a fall thing. So it's we just took it up to Harford County about a week or two ago. They had a huge event up there, and it was like, and we emptied the van out up there. And so, you know, we take it out on the road. Everything's kind of winding down for spring, going into summer. So it's going to be the Wednesdays at noon on a regular basis. And then we're starting to stack some stuff up for autumn events. And then we will do our big holiday suit giveaway thing, but that's later in the year. But yeah, if people need clothes, we're even kind of keeping it kind of chill with the referral base and everything. It's like if people have a need, show up on a Wednesday at noon. We'll get you taken care of, because we have in-house right now about 1,000 suits.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like, and they're like, and that's the thing, is like, if it's stuff that, you know, if it's got to go, if it's trash, we trash it. You know what I mean? If the collars are yellowed out and stuff, then it goes. We get some really nice clothing that comes through there that people, for one reason or another, they didn't need, and they didn't want the room, and they wanted the room in their closet. So, you know, it's amazing some of the stuff that we get. Honestly, some of it being brand new, still tags on it. We have a deal going with Bombas Socks, and they've given us thousands of socks for us to give away to people as well. We get razors and shaving cream from Gillette, and we give the guys that stuff as well. We have a barber that cuts the guy's hair. It's like it's a whole
Wow.
operation.
Full
Yeah,
service operation.
yeah. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, I would encourage you if you want to come through any Wednesday at noon or anybody that needs help. Then it's like just find your way there. It's 250 West Dickman Street. It's every Wednesday at noon, and it's
We lost. Oh, there he is. He's coming back. We lost your audio. Can you hear me? Mr. Schaefer, can you hear me? Because we lost your audio. All right, we having some problems with Mr. Schaefer's audio right now. We having some problems with Mr. Schaefer's audio right now. You able to hear me, Katanya? Okay, perfect. Y'all listen, just give me a chance to, as I looked at that picture of the young man, it just made me think about my testimony. Some 25, 26 years ago, a couple in my church told me that they wanted to be a blessing. You know, y'all know my story. I just come home from prison, went and became a member of this church, and I went to a thrift store, got me some black dress pants, and every week I would change the shirts. Right, I bought me a few shirts, all of it from the thrift store, and a couple in my church came to me and told me they wanted to be a blessing, and they took me to Value City, was a clothing store up on 40. And I remember when I was standing there, they outfitted me with two suits, the shirts, ties, shoes, everything I needed. And I remember standing there in that mirror, in the mirror, looking at myself. And I said to God, like, God, I want to be able to dress like this all the time. This was long before I had a job in human services. I was working in a warehouse, and literally my life has been curtailed, not only for me to be able to get a job, but becoming a pastor and just being able to, it's life changing when you are able to see yourself in a different light. So if you got donations, drop them off. If you got time, go volunteer. From what I understand, there's a tailor on site. If you know anybody that could benefit from it, send them down there Wednesdays at 12 noon at 250 West Dickman Street. Let's make it a place where people are coming, because these are life-changing services, and don't you ever think about it or see it another way. We thank Mr. Schaefer for being with us today. Unfortunately, we had some technical difficulty and we lost him. But I mean, can we get the applause going, Katanya? Because there he is. He's back. We still having some audio issues. Did we need to see if his audio disconnected, Katanya? All right, y'all. But while we're trying to see if we can get his audio together, we want to say thank you so much for the great staple that Sharp Dressed Man has become in the city of Baltimore. I know from the work that I do what it's been like to get people involved with the big suit giveaway, getting them outfitted when they have interviews and things of that nature, and just being able to overall get men, right? We see tons of stuff for women a lot of times, but being able to see this staple, this institution that's been able to be there for men, to see to it that men could get a blessing. I don't know if Katanya is trying to help Mr. Schaefer, but applause, 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 applause. Again, like, love, and share this blog, this broadcast. There it is. Again, like, love, and share this broadcast. Tag people in, because this next conversation is a big deal. Y'all, we have been working with Chase Bank now. We have been working with Chase Bank now for the better part of, well, a little more than a year. The very first meeting I went to was in April of 2023, before we began to start the project. And what we did is we had a series of meetings, and we came up with a strategy and a plan, and we began to recruit for what is their mobile career opportunities for customer service specialists. Um, what Chase's idea was, we're gonna put a bank, we're gonna increase our presence in Baltimore City. So they built a home branch right up at Mondawmin Mall. If you haven't seen it, go see it. They've put space in there for people to get financial literacy classes and things of that nature. Shout out to my brother Joel Gamble, who's up there doing a great work, making sure that the community is blessed by the branch. And they said within a 20-mile radius, we want to hire people. We want to focus on the 1-5, the 1-7, the 1-6, the 23, the 05. We want to focus on Baltimore City residents being able to get these jobs. Now, if you've ever heard of call center jobs, the call center jobs are not new, right? But these were fully remote, and the wage was off the charts, 22.50 an hour to start. So to join me today to have this conversation about these great opportunities are the two people who really have walked side by side. Katanya is hilarious. Who will walk side by side with me to work through the process of making this amazing opportunity a reality for so many Baltimore City residents. We're going to be talking to Mr. Bill Carnes, one of the fabulous business service representatives for the Mayor's Office of Employment Development at our Bush Street location. And we may get a pop in from our producer, Katanya Lester, who has been right there side by side with Bill and not making it happen. Welcome to the show, the former host, Mr. Bill Carnes.
What's up, Marvin? How you
And you're
doing?
not just the former host, you're still the host of Baltimore, Employ Baltimore show when you come on and do that. Bill, let me say this publicly, man. I have such great respect for the work that you have done in Baltimore City. That's probably your lighting, Bill. We can barely see you. Um,
Okay. So I'm in my office. I have the light turned on as much as I can. Is that better?
no, it's not getting much better at all. Clean. You might need to clean the camera off. You get a napkin or something and clean the camera.
Yeah, wipe it down. How's that? Is that a little better?
No, it's got to be the lighting. That's a little better. That's a little better. But I wanted to say to you publicly, man, you have been a staple in the workforce system in Baltimore for a lot of years and have done a lot of great work, kind of help build the foundation around the reentry part of what we do. Subject matter expert in manufacturing, transportation, and so many other areas. So I wanted to start off by saying, man, I really appreciate what it's been like to work with you and to see the great work that you've done in the city, man. Thank you so much.
Marvin, likewise. You've been my supervisor now for what, 2.5, 3 years?
Yeah, close to 3 years, man.
Yeah. We got a really good team. Been accomplishing a lot of things, doing things out of the box that we hadn't done before. Definitely. The folks that need help the most, I think that's what we concentrate on. I mean, anybody can do an application, anybody can look for a job, but there's folks out there that really need second chances, and I think that's where we shine. Not to, not to tout ourselves a little bit too much, but that's something that I've seen through the years. I've been with the agency 18 years now, and the growth and what we do now compared to what we used to do, we're reaching a lot more folks than what we used to, and especially our folks that are coming home. That's been a passion play of mine since day one that I've been with the agency, always looking to help our incarcerated folks, because all you have to do is just give them a chance and they run with it. And I think just about all the business service reps do a terrific job of helping citizens in Baltimore. So I want Marvin back on the screen with me, because I'm not going to. I'm sharing this one today. I'm sharing the spotlight today. So
after the initial conversations with Chase to kind of figure out what we needed to accomplish, and some issues that kind of put our back against the wall, won't talk in detail about it.
Yeah, sure.
It was a no-brainer to reach out to two of my favorite people to work with in the agency, which is you and Katanya. And literally, with that first cohort, what we were able to put together and to pull off was nothing short of amazing. Hit
I'm
every
going to go into another room, and maybe that'll help you guys see
okay.
a little better. Yeah.
Well, as I was saying, we hit every one of our goals. And the only place that this thing had been done prior to Baltimore was Detroit. And Detroit had done a phenomenal job. And literally, the feedback that we started to get was about how the Baltimore candidates was that much better. That's right, I said better than the candidates in Detroit. And whether it was a 66-yard field goal from Justin Tucker or just beating the brakes off of them last year, we better than them in football too. I digress. but we were able to come together and bring together through a strategic plan something that met and in some ways exceeded the goals of Chase Bank around beginning this process of staffing. This is what I'm going to say in the meantime. I want y'all to be on the lookout for the postings about this opportunity while we waiting to get Bill back, because we're going to continue our conversations. Be on the lookout for the postings for these opportunities, y'all. They are very real. But because we take good care of our customers, which is not just career seekers, but the businesses, we have a process in place. You're going to need to register to come to one of our information sessions. When you come to the information session, we're going to sit down and you're going to get a presentation that comes from Chase itself about what the priorities and what's important are to help you navigate the process to get into these opportunities. Once you get that presentation, you're going to sit down and have a brief interview. I'm going to be in the building. Katanya's going to be in the building. Bill's going to be in the building. Maybe a few of our staff, more than the three of us. You're going to be sat down, and we're going to have a Q&A to find out if you're somebody that we should refer. Listen, our referral number just went up to 60 people, y'all. Just went up to 60 people. But let me give you some numbers from the original recruitment. We had touched about 460 something people. We had 240 something people come out to the actual information sessions. Referrals were sent, and we got it all the way down to the 45 people. I think it was 47 people that Chase Bank had requested. So when you come, you got to bring your A game. You have got to come correct, all right? These are what's called remote account specialist positions. Tell you something. Okay, Bill is with us now. You got to live in Baltimore, Maryland, within 15 miles of the 21215 zip code, all right? Don't overthink that. Show up. We got a metrics to figure that out. Minimum of 1 year customer interaction or customer support experience is required. It can be either by phone or face to face. Minimum 6 months computer experience required. It's saying experience, guys. It does not have to particularly be a job, okay? Must be willing to be able to work schedules during operating hours, which may include evenings and weekends. Call center experience is a major plus. High school diploma or GED is required. Ability to pass the background check. Okay. Ability to pass the background check. Valid Maryland license or state ID. And we want you to have a resume that adequately represents you. And you know, if you need assistance with that, you can go into any one of our centers prior to our information sessions for you to be able to get that. Now, Bill, I'm glad you're back. I ain't going to lie, I was trying to fill some time until you got back.
No, and it's great because you hit all my bullet points. I had everything. You hit them all in a row. So I wanted to talk about a couple of things that you hit on. So the actual training we're doing referrals up until the end of the month. The training is going to start in July. There's going to be a 10-week training period. It's about 2.5 months. Most of the time, you're going to be training from home. You're going to spend about 4 days at Mondawmin, and Marvin already covered that. So you have to live within 15 miles of Mondawmin. Once the training is over and you start the job, you are going to be required to go to Mondawmin once a month for additional training and things like that. One of the things that I tell folks, and a lot of people have call center experience and customer service and collections, what Chase is really pushing is think about what you're doing all day. Someone's calling you and they're having an issue with their banking issues. And that means they're usually a little bit fired up. They're a little bit upset. And it's real easy to be happy face on call 1, call 10, call 15. But we're talking about you might do 120 calls a day. And what we're looking for, folks, is that you're going to have the same energy on that call 1 as you are on call 120. And let's be honest, not everybody can do that. And that's a huge ask. But if you've ever noticed, I know I deal with different banks. The really good ones, you're getting the same experience every single time. And after you hang up, you're like, oh, that wasn't too bad. They were pretty helpful because there's nothing worse. And we all know what we're talking about when we call certain call centers, when we're having issues with electronics and things like that. And we get frustrated. Let's be honest, because the person on the other end doesn't seem like they're really into your problem. And that's not what we're looking for, folks that show a little bit of empathy to our folks, and you're going to get results and give them the answers that they want quickly. And it seems like there's a lot of you out there. We've been having no problems in the past cohorts to get really good referrals. And this particular time, I think, and I can put this out there, Marvin, if you want to come back on, we're going to shoot for 60 people in this particular round.
I said that, man. Look, we got some nice numbers that we need to hit of people that we're actually referring. So, guys, listen, everything that Bill said is important. Let me tell you, the worst mistake that you can make is to not prepare yourself for any step of this process, right? If you see the flyer, read the flyer, right? Follow what the flyer says. Show up at your best. It was some heartbreaking stuff, some heartbreaking no's that we have to give to people, because there's some people that just, saw now hiring and showed up. It's a lot more intricate details that have to go into this. We have these information sessions. Well, how you connect to the information session is on the screen. bit.ly / TEBS customers, right? I
want to say one thing, and it's very, very important. Before you do anything with that, make sure that you're registered in MWE, please, because that'll help our process. If you see the flyer, when you do get the flyer, your first step is to make sure, if you're not in MWE, to register in MWE, and then go on to the bit.ly. So,
and y'all, again, this stuff isn't difficult. If you are listening to us right now, right? Okay, that's the link for you to express interest. A different link will be on the flyer. All right, if you're interested, use the link that we have. We got a super dope producer, y'all.
I could tell she was in your ear.
Right. So listen, again, if you need to refine your resume, rather than being held up or disqualified, right? When you come to one of our career centers and get the assistance. We have people on site every day to assist you with resumes, right? If in fact you need clothing, we got partners like Sharp Dressed Man, the Clothes Closet, and other people, other opportunities that can help you. Come to our centers even for that. If you want to brush up your interview skills, we have people at our centers that can assist you with that. There's no reason to not be prepared for this opportunity. Bill, sorry, go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, our first session is going to be next Wednesday at Eastside Career Center. So now's the time, jump in over the weekend. And I definitely, Marvin really hit on something, and I'm going to repeat. We lost some really good folks simply because they weren't paying attention to the follow-up portion. People think that after you do the interviews and they say you're good to go and you're hired. No, they want everything is dated. So they're going to need verification of your education, they're going to need verification of your previous jobs, and it has to be in a timely fashion. And if that deadline goes by and you don't have that in, unfortunately, they move on. So I cannot emphasize that enough. Once you interview and it looks like they're going to accept you, make sure you check your emails every day, because they're going to ask you to do other things. So
even in the process of getting referred, you want to make sure. I had people a month after we had filled roles in the first cohort reach out to me talking about Mr. McKinstry. Nobody ever called me, and I would have to go and show them the multiple emails that I sent them to be able to contact and communicate with them about the process. And they were disconnected from their emails, so they wind up missing out on the opportunity, guys. This is one of those things. It's a lengthy process, right? This ain't the 3 days that you go through Amazon and you on the job. It's a lengthy process. So we need to make sure that you are ready to endure this process. Chase Bank Info session is going to be Wednesday, May 15th, 2024 at 10 a.m. at the Eastside Career Center. You're going to need to stay up on our social media. I'm going to blast it out on my social media as soon as we get the registration link for the flyer. Y'all make sure that you are on top of our website, our information, social media sites, so that you won't miss your opportunity to register for that information session, because it all begins right there.
And I'm going to tell you something else. Day one, when you get hired, you get medical. you get dental, you get vision, you get 401k, paid time off, supplemental child care, stock purchase plan. I mean, I can go on and on and on. And if you want to go back to school, they have a reimbursement program after 90 days. You are going to be working for the largest financial company in the world.
No. The largest company in the world.
Well, largest company in the world. Yeah, okay,
Chase
right.
is the largest employer, the largest business in the entire world, guys. And when he says day one, that training that you keep hearing us talk about, you get paid for every second of it.
Yeah. Here's the cool thing. The people who are doing the training, the different people they met, they all started out in this position. Chase is huge from hiring within. These folks are in very good management positions, but they started off in call center. So think about that. If you want a career in finance and a stable, we're all looking for stable company. We're all looking for stable benefits. We all want, a stable paycheck. This is a phenomenal opportunity, especially Marvin. Every time we turn around, I want a remote job. I want a remote job. This is it. This is a perfect one. And that's our first cohort.
First graduation.
Yep.
The graduation cohort. I think I'm somewhere up on that back porch somewhere.
I'm in the corner.
Katanya, I think you took the picture. Maybe Katanya took the picture. But guys, listen, there was nothing more fulfilling than to really watch folks, because this graduation was the first time that we had seen some of these people in over 2 months, because they were in the process. And to see them and have them come to us thanking us for helping them into the process, that's what we live for, guys. So we really want you to get connected to this opportunity, get connected to this program, get connected in this process, because it's life-changing. This is not a job. This is career-oriented work, being career-minded, talking about the stuff that Bill just talked about with the ability. Every executive, and these are top executives in Chase, every executive that we met was somebody that started out working in the call center. So this is just step one to what will be your major career opportunity. Don't miss out.
All right. I think that's about it. But we need people, and it's going to be a quick process. So check our websites. You'll see the flyer posted everywhere. We're getting ready to roll. We're hoping to do 2 sessions on Wednesday.
All right, y'all. Listen, y'all heard it here. My main man, Bill Collins. Katanya owes us a pop in. I don't know if she's going
to come on, Katanya, say hi.
But I do want to say to Katanya the same thing that I said. Katanya, I so appreciate your work and how you've been a part of what makes MOED great.
There she is.
You literally rolled over into this space doing this digital work, which is where technology went. It's where COVID pushed us. You just took that on, and your passion to do this is what really keeps me connected to doing it. Y'all don't just think I like being here all the time, but your passion is a motivator. And I appreciate your years and years and years of great work. And I'm inspired by both you guys and all the great things that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to work with you and Bill, as well as the Chase Bank, to help them fulfill their goals and to help see some really wonderful people in our community, in our city, get hired. And we're looking forward. And as Bill and Marvin and Bill stated earlier, follow the directions. Follow every step of the directions. We're here to help you and just, to make sure that you are successful.
It's paramount, guys. Well, with that being said, thank you guys so much for joining. Y'all stay on the screen. I knew she was going to do that. Thank you guys for joining the Employee Baltimore show today. This will remain posted on our page. Share it again and again and again. Make sure you tag somebody in the comments so that they know about this great information. We want to send a special shout out to Mr. Christopher Schaefer for the great work that they're doing down at on Dickman Street. Wednesdays at 12 o'clock. We need to get more people down there volunteering, more donations. We need everybody to be a part of that. And I cannot thank enough Mr. Bill Collins and Ms. Katanya Lester as we embark on our next cohort of this great, great work of bringing these opportunities that Chase Bank is offering to people here in the Baltimore area. Y'all, we looking for 60 people to sign up and get into this process. And we need you to make sure that you are one of them, y'all. As I always say in closing, if you're looking for an opportunity, the Mayor's Office of Employment Development is looking for a workforce system that really, really works Thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you next week.